Hey, Brother Ricky here. Just wanted to share something with you out of the answer book, A Helpful Book for Christians by Brother Sam Gipp. The first question in it is, shouldn't we be loyal to the original autographs and not a mere translation? That's a big controversy that people don't believe in having the English translation, such as the King James Bible. They don't believe it's perfect, preserved, and infallible. They believe in these originals that they cannot hold and obtain anymore. But this answers the question right here. I just want to share with you what it says. It says, shouldn't we be loyal to the original autographs and not a mere translation? And he answers and says we should put as much value on the originals as God does. And then he goes on to explain to say this: it is impossible to be true to the originals because the originals have long been lost. This well-established fact should be enough to make the sincere student of Scripture realize that an affirmative answer to the question is an impossibility, but it does not explain the above answer. Just how much value does God put on the originals? To get the answer, we must explore several chapters in the book of Jeremiah, beginning with the famous passage in chapter 36 concerning the roll that Jeremiah had written. In verse 21, the roll is brought before King Jehoiakim and read by his servant Jehudi. According to verse 23, Jehudi read 3 or 4 leaves, and King Jehoiakim cut it up with a penknife and cast it into the fire on the hearth until it was destroyed. Therefore ended original number 1. Then the Lord moved Jeremiah to rewrite the roll, adding some words to it in Jeremiah chapter 36, verse 32. Therefore original number 2 is born. We are shown the text of the second original in Jeremiah chapter 45 through 51, where it is reproduced for our benefit. Jeremiah told Seraiah to read the roll when it came into Babylon. You see that in Jeremiah chapter 51, verses 59 through 61. Then Jeremiah instructed Seraiah, after he finished reading the roll, to bind a stone to it and cast it into the Euphrates River, Jeremiah 51:63. Therefore ended original number 2. But wait, we have a copy of the text of the roll in chapters 45 through 51. Where did it come from? It came from a copy of original number 2, which we can only call original number 3. So there are two very big problems for those who overemphasize the originals. The first problem is every Bible ever printed with a copy of Jeremiah in it has a text in chapters 45 through 51, which is translated from a copy of the second original or original number 3. Secondly, no one can overlook the fact that God didn't have the least bit of interest in preserving the original once it had been copied and its message delivered. So why should we put more emphasis on the originals than God does? An emphasis which is plainly unscriptural. Thus, since we have the text of the originals preserved in the King James Bible, we have no need of the originals, even if they were available, because we have a copy of them. Hope that helps, and hope it's a blessing.